up?
Hey Amber, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yes.
So, everybody, I'll explain what an EVP is. So, I'm just gonna wiki it. So, within ghost hunting and parapsychology, electronic voice phenomena, EVP are sounds found on electronic recordings that are interpreted as spirit voices that have been either unintentionally recorded or intentionally requested and recorded. So, we're actually going to be requesting an EVP. And you know what? Actually, right now, I'll go ahead and play that one clip from that one really, really clear guy. I'll just put it right here.
The way that I view it is kind of like a, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a timeline, sort of, but I guess, yeah, it's kind of like a circle.
Okay, so I guess we can see whatever we get, or if the guy that said a map wanted to come through totally down. Are you feeling anything on your end right now?
They have a different energy, so I don't really feel them like I would something else. But I don't know what it is. Like, they want their voices heard, but they don't want to go through me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I guess I could just start asking questions. Okay. What is your name? Hopefully we get something.
It'll be fun.
I'll give them some time to answer. I can always edit this. What is your purpose for being here? I feel so weird right now.
Talking to an invisible friend.
Yeah.
I feel like if we just talk, they might chime in.
Okay.
I don't know. We seem to get them a lot when it has to do with time or like different dimensions.
Okay.
So that might be their forte. Yeah, I'm feeling like excitement.
Okay, maybe I'll start off with that. This is going to be a lot of editing. Okay, so can you explain time? And I know we've already covered this, but since this excites you, if there's anything you want to say, please feel free. While they're doing that, I'm going to find something in my Google Drive. Is there anything else you think that would excite them besides time? Any other topics?
Just anything that has to do with whether it be like going back in time, talking about parallel like dimensions and stuff like that.
Okay.
Anything in relation to that.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be time itself. Like, it could literally be like going back to a time of something, or
Hold on, almost there. How about this? So right now, Amber and I are speaking. Now, in some other dimension, could we possibly be doing something else at this exact moment? Maybe we're hanging out at the mall, or maybe Amber's doing something completely different, or maybe I'm eating. I mean, what are we doing on a different timeline?
just any timeline. Because there's like an infinite amount. I mean, sky's the limit.
Okay. If we were to pick, I guess, the most similar timeline to this one, what would we be doing?
Okay. Probably just waking up.
I'd probably be sleeping. I'm off today, so I'd be sleeping.
Yeah, it'd be pretty slow. Like, we were both just kind of getting up, eating some breakfast. It's not very exciting.
Okay, maybe we'll go to a different time. Okay, how about something vastly, vastly different from our current life? Something that's like almost unimaginable.
Okay. They showed me something freaky, so I asked for a different one. Let's keep it lighthearted. Um, oh, interesting. You're like a flight attendant or something.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
And then I'm
Keep going.
no
I'm coming. I'm coming.
worries.
Okay. Okay. So what are you doing? So I'm a flight attendant. What are you
So,
doing?
you're like a flight attendant for like a government agency. So it's like this weird. It's just a little different, but things are like very. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a little freaky. Like the government has like a lot of control kind of thing, you know? Um, but I feel like I'm this like weird like hippie chick and I'm somewhere in like and I'm in another country. I'm just like hiking on a mountain. Got like a farmer hat on.
What? Oh my gosh. Wow. So in this timeline, the government has a lot of control. Is it like a dictatorship in this
Not
timeline?
really. It's not anything like that negative. It's just very like I guess it's very serious and very organized and like it's almost like a little robotic. But it's nothing like you'd see in movies where it's like everything's all dark and like like there are these like weird like secret agents all around every corner and stuff. It's pretty normal. It's just things are a little structured, you know.
Okay. And so is everything still current? Like it's not like it's not like a future timeline. It's still like since I'm a flight attendant, it's like a normal plane, normal government plane anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm honestly a little bit like curious about what that other timeline was. You don't have to mention yours if you don't want to, but I was wondering if you could say what you see for me.
Well, that's the one I was. Oh man. So I just saw some. It's like this. I don't want to say.
Okay, like is it like a creepy factor on like a supernatural end, or is it more like murderous?
No, it's like so. It's this like dark room. I feel like you. I don't think you're homeless, but you're heavily addicted to drugs. So you're it's like this just like weird abandoned room, so it's just dark. Like there's no electricity. There may be about like 30 people in there.
And we're all like shooting up or something?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh my god, how did I ever get that bad? Jesus. Okay. Well, I guess it's not like bad, just kind of like another way life
It's a little
could have
darker.
gone.
Yeah, it's not.
Interesting. And if you wanna say, what are you doing in that timeline?
In that one, oh, interesting. So in that one, growing up, I actually almost went to school for fashion design. And in that one, I actually am like I'm actually in school for fashion design. Like I'm actually
That's crazy. Like that's so awesome. So it's something you were interested in, but then in that timeline, it kind of just took off in that direction.
yeah, I guess.
But I've never been interested in.
I was gonna say, but I don't think it wasn't that simple. Like there were there were a lot of factors that had happened.
Oh my
It wasn't
god.
just like a one decision, and you're in that room.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. I'm okay. I can't. My curiosity is like killing me. What happened to lead up to that?
I feel like more than anything, it was more of like people that you ended up meeting or that you ended up kind of hanging out with. You know, it was kind of more of like an outward thing more so than like an upbringing.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, going back to the flight attendant one, it's kind of funny because at one point I was actually thinking about it, not seriously.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, this would be a great way to travel the world, as a job, but it's it was just like it was just in the moment and it just kind of went away. But interesting how that actually came to fruition in another timeline. The drug thing, that one's crazy.
I feel like, hold on, I want to try pulling where there's happier stuff going on. Let's see. Ooh, there's one where you're married, um, and this man. Hold on, it's like changing. Hold on a second. I need to pick back to the one. It's getting weird. I was like, this isn't the one that I chose. Weird. It was cool because there was like this, you're traveling the world essentially because there's this like really wealthy man, but then he was a little bit, he didn't feel very good, so I didn't. Anyways,
really quick. Sorry,
yeah.
What did he look like? What did he look like?
What did he look like?
Yeah.
He looked like,
Might know him.
he's either like Indian from India or like something like maybe like El Salvadorian or something like that. I can't really tell. Or maybe a combination.
Okay.
Something like that. Anyway, so there's one where you have it's kind of weird because I feel like it's a little bit more like old fashioned where like you're in this like nice little cookie cutter house and you've got this like husband and you've got these little children and it's all like
Gosh.
I feel like you are like a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he might be like a lawyer or something. And you have two kids, a girl and a boy. And I feel like once everybody's gone, like then you start like connecting to like your aliens and like all that stuff. Just kind of start playing with everything. It's cool. That's still very much relevant.
How about you?
I don't know what I am, but I'm riding a motorcycle, which is interesting.
Have you ever
It's
thought
like
about
sunglasses on. So I've had a lot of interests in my life, and I wanted to pursue being a secret agent with the FBI. So I feel like it's something relating to that.
Cool. And in all of the lives that you mentioned, did we ever meet in any of them?
Yeah.
In all of them?
Yeah.
So it might have been just like a very different type of meet. Like, so we weren't like trying to channel like aliens and stuff.
I feel like in this one, we are.
Uh-huh.
The one, the darker one, I don't think we really like we met, but we're not really, don't do that. And then in the first one, we are.
Okay. The flight attendant one, and then you were the hippie backpacking.
Yeah. Somewhere through like Asia.
And we look exactly like how we look now, but maybe just with slight differences, or?
Yeah, I mean, our face, like facially, yeah, there might be differences in like hairstyle and stuff, but or makeup, but
Are our personalities the same?
no. I mean, it's like the main person's there, but it's like exaggeration on certain aspects, you know?
Okay. Was there one where, because like I told you like a while back, I used to sing, and I was actually trying to seriously pursue that for the longest time, and I just lost my love for it. Um, do you see a timeline with that?
There are a couple different ones because there's like one where you're just not very. It's like you're doing it to do it, but you're not very happy, you know? So it's not like you're not necessarily in a great state of mind. There's another one where you are. I feel like it's just honestly like it's not. It's supposed to be like a big part of you, but it's not necessarily like all you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like the one where you are enjoying it and you are successful at it, it's still there's like something missing, you know?
My aliens are missing.
Yeah.
JDL's missing. Um, how about JDL? Is he in any of these particular timelines? Is he always an alien, or is he ever a human in any? Oh, well, I guess he would be an alien then, right?
In the first one, he's definitely there, but his presence isn't as much as it is now. Well, I feel like the one where you're just in that room, I feel like you're just not like conscious enough to like, you know,
Yeah.
doesn't go to that one. The one where you're living in the house, you definitely are. And I feel like honestly, there's like a couple.
There's a couple.
Different aliens. You like go to town when everybody's gone.
Oh my gosh.
With singing ones, yeah, but it's just different. It's not how it is now. It's a little different. It's not as
Where this is like my life right now. That's all I do, aside from my day job. Is there like a crazy one, like an absolute crazy one, like that's just nuts, like something where just like, oh my god, I would never do that. Besides the downhill one, is there like maybe that's like super crazy?
There's one that I'm getting where you're a little crazy. Like you're at I'm seeing you at like this rodeo and you're like, ah! Like there's like a camera and you're like in its face.
Oh my god! So it's like I'm on a reality show and I'm like on like a bull or something.
No, it's like the people. You know how like baseball games or something. You know, there's like cameras that'll look for the crowd. So you're at a rodeo or something, and there's just a camera, and you're like getting it, like peeking your head in front of it. You're like,
oh my gosh! Oh
but
my
I
god!
feel like in this timeline, that's very typical to your behavior. So you're just very like
Just like really wild and out there and crazy.
yeah.
Okay. How about you?
Um, I'm very opposite. Oh my gosh. It's like I'm like very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I like at first I want to say that I was like a psychologist, but it feels more like I'm a librarian. I don't know. I'm just very quiet. I might be a psychologist. I can't tell. But yeah.
Man, that's crazy. And so right now, all of these things are happening at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How's our EVP people? Okay. I don't know if I should check to see if there's anything here. Or if we should just keep going. What do you think? Should we just keep going? Or? Okay. I guess we could. What else can we talk about? Time travel. Okay. So how about And I've seen different YouTube videos where people will say that, they work for the government, or they were working at, the grocery store one day. Somebody took them and they're like, oh, hey, come with me. Do you want to time travel to 3067? And they're like, yeah. And then next thing you know, they end up at some center. They're in one place and then they wake up and it's like 5,000 years later. Is that something that's possible? Oh, and actually, if we could bring in Curtis, because Curtis hasn't said anything in a long time. I just want to see if there's anything he wanted to say.
I don't necessarily feel like it's humans leading that. I feel like it's like different beings, like a kind of like these beings that work with the government. What's the movie? It's kind of like X-Men or something like that.
Oh yeah, like where they have all these different abilities.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, it's kind of like that, but it's not people. It's like beings, and I'm seeing them kind of like they're very pale. Their skin almost looks like it's so pale that it's like almost blue. They're bald, and they kind of wear like a suit and hat kind of thing.
Oh my god, there's videos of them! Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I feel like they kind of are the ones that deal with that
with time travel
thing. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll show you something after. It's really cool.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I can get a clip from somebody else's video legally and put it in mine. So I don't know so I'm just gonna. I'll put a link, and if you guys want to check out that channel, please do. But what was I gonna say? So these beings, are they benevolent, or are they like in between? Are they evil?
Sorry. I was trying to connect to them, but I feel like they are aware of it. So it's getting weird. They're not benevolent, they're just, I mean, they have a certain like mission, and they just kind of do what they do. It's kind of like nonchalant, it's not necessarily coming from a good place or a bad place. It's just like their duty, I guess, that they're fulfilling, but it's not necessarily a bad duty.
Okay. And they are physical beings?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I'm going to show you the video. I'm getting curious. I'm going to stop because I want to ask him some stuff. Okay. Okay, so do you feel safe asking them anything, or should we go away?
I wouldn't ask them.
Okay. Bye. Okay, bye, Felicia. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So with this type of time travel, do you feel like it's an actual like machine, or is this something that's done without a machine, or something there that's helping us cross dimensions? Is it an actual like device?
It's almost like a way of like manipulating like a black hole. It's not necessarily a device, but it's like you need one at the same time to manipulate it.
Does the person have to have an implant on them?
No. Well, I mean, it's easy. They can get lost if you just like send them, like there you go, they can get lost. Unless there's some way to like track them.
Mm-hmm. And so when the person is being sent to to the future, and that's kind of crazy because I mean there's so many different timelines too. So how do you really know where you're going?
Yeah.
I mean, so when this happens, does that maybe break the person up into different particles, and then it sends them off into a different dimension? They kind of come back together, or how does that happen?
So it kind of, I guess essentially, but like the core, it doesn't necessarily like disperse it. It just kind of like kind of breaks everything up, but it like elongates it. So it's like it stays together like a little package. Like they're not going to lose a hand or something like that, It kind of all stays together. And I feel like there's somehow, it's almost like this string or something is like attached to them, so they're able to pull them out at some point.
Like, is it like an actual string? Is it like an energetic cord? Is it some kind of alien?
It's like an energetic cord thing.
That's so cool. And so people are actually doing this right now?
Like they're actually traveling.
Yeah, yeah.
Not too common, but it does happen.
And are they usually able to successfully bring them back here?
Yeah, for the most part.
Has anyone died during this process?
Not during the process, but as a result. I mean, it's on a different timeline, but like if you go back and like bring the body back or like the spirit, like it's already gone back to source, so it's not like you can't just like reanimate.
Gotcha. So if that being has died in that timeline, we can't bring them back at all.
Right. You're gonna bring them back and they'll still be dead.
So they would be bringing back the body.
Yeah.
The dead body. Ooh, crazy.
But I feel like in that instance they wouldn't want to, because then it can raise like they'd rather just have it
just leave it there
and yeah.
Then bring any type of evidence. Okay. Has anyone actually gotten stuck in the future or even the past and just wanted to stay there?
It's not necessarily by choice, but they've gotten stuck.
Oh man. Is there somebody stuck right now? Well,
Yes.
I guess,
Yes.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way for that person to get back home?
No.
Do you see this in like the future or is it past?
Both.
Crap. Who do you see in the past? Or actually, can you describe the scene that you're looking at in the past, and then can you describe the person in that, in whatever you're seeing?
That one doesn't really want to come through very much. The one in the future, though, is a man. And I think at this point he is living on the streets, and he looks like because he's like mentally like going crazy,
Yeah.
So he's not in a good state of mind because nobody's like listening to him. It's just weird.
They probably just think he's crazy.
Yeah. So he's he's living on the streets, but he's also kind of gone to an area that's not very well populated. So it's a little bit like it's like dark and dingy, kind of like it's not.
Is it like a city?
Yeah.
And so how far into the future is it, and what does the city look like?
65 years.
Oh, okay.
But he's already an older man, like he was in his like mid 40s, so it's not like where it's like a few years and he can like find his family or something. It's not an abandoned city, but it's not well populated. Like it's not very well maintained, There aren't very many like cars. There are like some abandoned cars and stuff like that,
Did something get messed up? Like, why couldn't he come back? Or did they want to leave him there to see what would happen?
There was an issue with the connection. They didn't try to fix it. It's not like he was just a random person. It was kind of like more of like a punishment.
A punishment?
Yeah.
Did he work for the government or something?
He was very dishonest. I don't know if I don't think he necessarily worked for the government, but it's something like he has a company that works with the government, or like the government will use his company for things. He would like say things that were confidential or let things out that weren't supposed to be let out, stuff like that.
So they kind of needed maybe a guinea pig, and they thought he'd be a great candidate.
I'm not getting too much, because it's like there's like stuff that I can't necessarily say, so it's not going to let me connect to it.
So whatever he did, this is kind of a punishment, and if they could bring him back, they could, but since I guess they didn't really, but I guess since there was that issue that happened, they didn't even think it was really worth trying to bring him back.
And it's not necessarily like, it was kind of like he agreed to it, knowing
the risks.
The risks weren't necessarily, I don't know that he knew that there was a possibility of him being stuck, but I feel like it wasn't, the full intention wasn't, it was just like, this guy has done us wrong. We have something like crazy to try. So if something bad happens, I mean, it's okay because he's done us wrong, kind of thing, you know?
And he wanted to do it, so
Yeah, like he gave permission.
permission.
I feel like because no matter what, if you do something like that, it's going to mess you up mentally in the long run, like no matter what, in any circumstance, you know? Um, so they're not gonna necessarily choose these like, it's not like the best person in the town can like do this, you know, it's not necessarily like a gift.
Would you say that maybe they've gotten like homeless people, maybe people like that don't really have families, or people that are more secluded?
It happens so infrequently, you know, it's not necessarily they want us to stop talking about this, so I'm just gonna finish this thought real quick. It happens so infrequently, so they're not just gonna pick like a random person, you know, there's usually a reason behind it.
Okay. Just so we're safe, is there anything they want me to cut out?
We're fine right now.
Okay. What can we do on a lighter note? Do you have anything?
I feel like this is kind of dark, but it's like, it's not, time travel doesn't necessarily have to be dark, you know, because you can get insight into things or like different possibilities, you know, yourself, and it's not necessarily like a negative thing. I feel like just doing this and like possibly getting stuck in like this weird, you know, like I feel like that can do stuff on you mentally, you know.
Okay, well, what's something positive that may have come out of it so far?
There's nothing positive about that.
With a time travel device, there's nothing
With
positive.
these guys and this government thing, they don't want us to talk anymore about it, but it's not.
Uh-huh. Or like not, how about not that? Are there maybe any beings that are completely benevolent working with us in a positive way that uses time travel?
It's not highly encouraged. You can connect to or like maybe get an insight into things happening in the future, which will definitely, for example, like global warming is an issue that a lot of people are frowning upon, which I don't understand, you know, but it's like, it's a serious issue that we're seeing, you know, like Venus literally went through that and now it's completely like be uninhabitable, you know, you'd like melt, you know what I'm saying? So things like that would encourage you to do something about
Something
it,
right
you
now.
know? So there are things like that.
Okay. Is there maybe some kind of program that's going on right now where people are looking into the future to see how we can change the present to have a better future?
Not through the government by any means. I feel like it's more so through this stuff, people connecting to different possibilities, but it's not like a, I mean, that would be great because then we could probably get stuff done, you know?
Okay. So it's more along the lines of the other stuff than trying to make a better future for humanity.
Yeah.
We should have something like that. I mean, but as long as nobody like messes with anything and just we're just coming from a point of just observation,
Yeah.
that would be cool if that'd be possible.
I feel like the safest way, honestly, because your body doesn't need to go anywhere. If you just astral project, you can travel through that. It's essentially your reality, so you can literally pull yourself into a different dimension. I actually, for a while, I was really passionate about this. I wanted to try to, like, practice manifestation using parallel universes, you know? So instead of, because we do have free will, so people can say no, you know? So it's like just going into a different parallel universe, you know, where they didn't say no. So I mean, it is possible. I mean, it's just changing your reality, and you can essentially like connect to future situations the same way.
Was there something you were able to do?
Yes. This was years ago, and I actually wanted to start writing a book about it because I was like, how come nobody has said this before? But as I got more into it, I got messages that people could misuse it when not done properly or with the best intentions. It's not a good thing to be hopping around different parallels.
So when you're astral traveling and then you're looking at different timelines, And then when you're at that timeline and you're looking at it, and then from there, was that something you wanted to see if you could change in the present?
Yeah, so it's essentially you're altering your reality to fit with the specific outcome you want, not necessarily by manifesting and bringing it to yourself, but by literally placing yourself in that parallel.
So when you say placing yourself in that parallel, like your astral self in that parallel, but your physical self
No, like
state.
literally changing your reality.
Oh. Oh.
And you can't, it's not necessarily like you would be going to, like, it's literally just as simple, like if I were to have interviewed for a job or something like that, you know, like I'm sitting here right now waiting for a phone call, and then I'll go to that parallel where the phone call will say like, yes, you got the job, whether that be the current one or a different one. So I'm not changing, I'm not going back, and I'm not going forward, I'm just staying in the present, but connecting to a specific outcome that I want, you know.
Interesting. It's almost like instant manifestation in a way.
Yeah.
And was there anything that you were able to actually to change?
I mean, I was able to get the outcomes I want. I don't remember. It just got a little bit weird, and I feel like it is not necessarily. I mean, things happen for a reason, you know. And after like dabbling for a bit, it was like, I don't know that this is the best. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't know that it's like the best tool to utilize.
Because also it takes away certain lessons and experiences that you have to go through.
I feel like they would be forced upon you, but it's like you can't hide from it, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna like smack you in the face at some point, you know, if you like run from something that you're supposed to experience. With certain things are used sparingly with care, you know, it could. Living your life hopping between things isn't necessarily, I don't recommend it.
Interesting though. That's really cool. I mean, it's cool. I mean, because it's not something that I actually would have thought about. That's pretty awesome. Maybe we can delve into that deeper some other time.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe not necessarily like giving like a how-to, but I just thought it was really interesting. Okay, yeah. Looks like we're good. We're a little bit over time. I'm hoping we got something. But yeah, thank you for staying over with me. Am I keeping you from you? Can you hear me?
Oh, really? I can hear you.
Oh my god. Somebody wants us to stop talking. Maybe they're doing EVPs right now. Because I can't hear you at all. Oh my god. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to see if there's anything here right now. So I guess this is a good place to end things. So because I can't hear you at all. But Amber, thank you so much again. Until next time, I think you said you're welcome. I don't know. But okay. Alrighty. Bye.